So this is a video on how to replace the controls on a Best kitchen hood by Broan. And this is the control panel that you see. Actually, this is the switch plate, and we'll be replacing this switch plate. This is what it looks like, a replacement part. And you see the little slider there. The slider right there is what's missing, that's broke off. So today we're going to be replacing that. So the thing that makes this project challenging is to be able to replace the switch located here. You have to remove this control panel, or the panel that it's setting in. And there is a screw that's located right in the middle, and it's way up here, and that's the challenge, being able to get to that screw. And I'm 6 feet tall, and with my feet on the floor, I can't see how to remove it. It's up above the grates, but even with the grates removed, I can't physically see it without crawling up onto the area. If you haven't found it already, your kitchen hood model number, it's above the left louver. So we'll go to here, pop this and there's your kitchen hood part number. So this is some of the things that you're going to need to be able to work on it. First, of course, is the switch, or the switch plate cover. This has got little sliders. This is what was broke on mine. The knob here that connects to the switch on the control panel. And you'll need an assortment of screwdrivers. You'll need this very small one to be able to disconnect this from the control panel. It's a very tight space once you get in there. Another Phillips head screwdriver that needs to be very long and needs to have a magnetic head on it. This is very important because when you're trying to put the screw back in the top of the range hood, you're going to need it, or it will be extremely difficult. You need a light to shine up in the area so you can see the screws, and a garbage can bag or something to lay the metal louvers. When you take the metal louvers off, you're going to need something to put it on so that the grease won't get on the floor or wherever you set it, because things are going to be covered with grease. Also, I recommend that you get a pair of gloves, just the regular exam gloves. It'll keep your hands from getting very greasy. A pair of exam gloves like this, it will save you a lot of time in cleanup as you're working through this. It's really hard if you don't have this and you're trying to not step on the grates, or my concern is stepping on the grates and breaking those, or it falling through. So I put the frame up there, then I had a 2x2 sheet of plywood. Just put it up and I'll let it rest here. So you can see I have crawled up onto the work platform now to be able to access that screw that's in the middle and on the back side of the panel that's so hard to see. Okay, this is me trying to get this screwdriver up here. Next, I'm going to take out these 4 screws that are in the row with a light. So I'm just taking out the screw up above. That was so hard to get to. So now that I'm taking out these screws here. Okay, and they go across here. See this one and the other. There's 4. So before you take this down, you need to unplug those cords up here. There's a male and a female. You can just pull them and they'll come right out. Then you can drop this panel all the way down so that you can work on it. I should be sure and give you a heads up that when you remove these screws here on the bottom that are holding up this panel up there, remember to grab it when you're taking out the last screw, because when you take out the last screw, it's going to fall if you don't have a hold of it. So the first thing is going to be unplugging this controls wires from the switchboard here. Okay, first I'm going to remove this screw. That's where the little screwdriver comes in handy. So, okay, now to remove the screw, I'm going to remove the two screws that are on this end, this one and this one. Now I've got these three screws removed, this one and the two that are over on this end. Then this control panel is just going to lift up, like so. And as you push in on these clips on the end, you'll need to push in on those and then push down on the plastic part here. You may be able to push your finger in here and push like that with the same time pushing down. You can see that going through here. Notice it falling out. I'm rotating this, but it just pushed right through the bottom. Okay, here's our new piece. We're going to slide it in this end here. I'm going to slide in like this, and the right side is going to come over here, and it's just going to push in and snap. You heard the click. That was it. Snapping in place. Okay, as you start to put the control panel back on, most important thing is you're going to need to line up these switch levers, if you will, so that the control knobs here on the switch fits into that groove. This one fits into that slider groove, and this into this groove. So you've got to line these up. So, and I'm going to do that by taking this one all the way to the right, this one all the way to the left. I'm going to put this switch all the way to the right, this one all the way to the left, and this in the center. So it's about in the center, and then I'm going to take it and line it up, and I'm going to make sure that each of those are in their little groove before I drop it all the way in and screw it down. And again, to screw it down, I'm just going to reinsert 3 screws, 1 screw on the right end and these 2 on this end. Okay, now that you got these 3 screws back in, reach under and make sure to test it. Make sure that each one of these is working like you want it, especially this one in the middle, the slider. And here you can feel the tension on it, so it's working its will. Remember to connect the control wires back to the control panel. Easy ones snap down. Okay, before we put it up, I want to be sure and show you, this is the plug and the receptacle that connects to these cords that we disconnected. So I'm gonna lift this up and reconnect them. And when you do that, this is a little short, so you've got to hold this control panel up there after you do that to be able to put in these screws again that we need to put in here. Putting in these 4 screws will hold it up. Then we'll go up above and put in the carrier screw up above there. Okay, so I just put these 4 screws back in that are in the row here. Okay, I'm about to put in the last screw, the screw that's in the back of this panel that holds up the lights and the controls and the switch. And I'm going to try to get to that place to put in the screw. It's going to be very difficult. This is where you almost have to have a magnetic screwdriver, and I'm going to take one hand and I'm going to have to press this down to get the hole to line up. To reinstall the louvers, Notice there are some tabs that are on the back side here. Like this one has a tab here, 2 tabs here for this louver. Then you'll take the louver, snap it onto the tab, push it up, bring it down onto these, snap it into those, push down and pull, and it will snap in and catch on this lever here to be secured there. Okay, now then we're done, just to make sure everything works. So this is the light switch. Voila. Okay, this is the fan switch. This is the fan speed control switch, which was the problem that we had. Okay, everything's working fine. Also notice the light comes on when the fan comes on. Again, there it is. Okay, so we're done with this project. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did and find it useful, please hit the like button. Thanks.